Excited to talk today and do an introduction to eXp Realty.
Absolutely.
This company continues to grow and change, and we've now been with eXp for a little over a year.
Yeah.
And lots of fun, exciting stuff happening in eXp. It's definitely the talk of the real estate world, and we're excited to highlight some of the stuff that we love about eXp, maybe dispel a couple myths and bad stories that are out there along the way as well.
I had a friend one time, he used to say you could believe the myths or you can profit from the truth. And so this is kind of along those same lines. This is a chance for us to talk about the truth and the way to profit from it.
I love it. Awesome. All right. So what are we going to cover today? We're going to go ahead and talk a little bit. Kevin, I'll give you a little background on who we are. We're going to talk about the eXp business model, eXp world, talk about how you can do business your way inside of eXp, and then also talk about the process of joining eXp. So this is not about us, but I feel like a lot of people want to know our journey and our story about, well, how did you guys find eXp, right? So not making this about us in any means, but Kevin and I enjoyed 11 years at Keller Williams and started a team, Group 4610 in 2008. And, you know, sometimes you just fall in love with stuff. And so we found ourselves after 10 years or so at Keller Williams looking for other options. What else was out there, right? And I believe you and I did a lot of exploring. I would consider—
We did more than I ever anticipated we would do. I can tell you that.
I would consider a couple out-of-state trips to, places to talk to different brokerages, having people flown in to talk and meet with us, lots of phone calls to explore what's out there, because there's a lot of disruption going on in the real estate industry. Now, a lot of people talk about the disruption that's happening to real estate agents, but what I believe is the first round of disruption is actually to the real estate brokerage model. And I'll just freely admit right now, I said I would never go to eXp. I think actually my exact quote, when you said, what do you think about eXp? I think I said, hell no to you and Curtis Johnson.
You for sure said that to Curtis Johnson.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
Poor guy. But anyway, I had a lot of misunderstandings about the company. I bought into a lot of things other people had said to us about the company. And so we're going to go through a presentation about eXp, but also for those of you that signed up and registered for this, we're going to allow some Q&A. And for those of you that might be watching on Facebook Live, we'll go ahead and let you drop some questions in and we can send you a private message or set up a conversation later. But there's a lot of myth understandings about eXp out there.
To say the least, there's some myth understandings about it.
All right, Kevin. So anything else you want to say about eXp and kind of how we found ourselves here?
No, let's just get into it. Let's start right here, like who we are, kind of how we made it today. We'll talk briefly about the founder and CEO, Glenn Sanford, who he's got a background in technology and internet startups. But here's the thing I really appreciate about Glenn. He also has a background in real estate, like selling real estate.
Yeah.
This isn't just a tech guy. This is a tech guy who also had a real estate business, and a big one at that. And as you can see there on the screen, in his fourth year, closed over $60 million in real estate. And that was really at the forefront of the internet boom, if you will, as real estate agents. Here's the thing, though, that Glenn believed that fundamentally forced him to change the way he was doing things, is that agents and brokers are the ones who do the heavy lifting and therefore deserve the benefits in growing the real estate businesses out there, right? The real estate companies. And so in 2009, he founded eXp Realty. Now I'm going to say that again. In 2009, that's a decade ago, he founded eXp Realty, the first ever cloud-based brokerage.
Yeah, here's a look right now for you at a little bit of a timeline of eXp. And I know you're all capable of reading, so I won't necessarily go through every single slide here. But I do want to point out one of the knocks on eXp is that you'll hear people say, especially competitors, that it's not sustainable.
I love that.
Yet here we are 10 years later, now listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange, which if you look at your timeline there, that happened in 2018. The company actually became a publicly traded company in 2013, sort of what's known as a penny stock, but then found itself listed on the NASDAQ stock exchange in the second quarter of 2018. As you can see, it just continued to expand, win more and more awards. Last year found themselves officially checking the box of being in all 50 states in the US, having agents right across the entire United States, as well as we are now, I think, officially in 7 provinces. We may not have full agent count in a couple of those provinces that are rolling out. I think the last one's rolling out this month or next month. But we're now also in 7 Canadian provinces and have made a declaration that we will be in the United Kingdom and Australia later this year as well. And we have people laying the groundwork, if you will, in those 2 countries also.
I was just going to say, there's some folks hard at work and making sure that that happens for later this year. So let's talk about the explosive growth, because a lot of folks think, well, eXp just hasn't been around that long, which is why they say, is it sustainable? They don't realize it's been a 10-year journey. But here's part of the reason why people feel it's so new is because this is like your prototypical hockey stick growth curve, right? So if you go back even to just 2016, that was 3.5 years ago, there wasn't even 1,000. I mean, there's almost 1,000 agents, right?
Yeah.
And then you go to 2017, you really look at, I always look at, I call it the Curtis Johnson effect, right? He joined in January of 2018. There was just under, between 6,000 and 7,000 agents. Here we are today, fast forward, as of June 2019, there's over 20,000 agents. I believe the number is now north of 21. However, we don't know the exact, I don't know the exact number, so I'm just gonna say north of 20. So 18 months ago, 6,500 agents or so. Today, over 20,000. That, my friends, is what you call the hockey stick. That is explosive growth.
Yeah, and in many states like Arizona, we have over 1,000 agents. In Texas, I believe we have now over 3,000 agents. In California, approaching 3,000. eXp is becoming a well-known name. Some of you out there that are watching and listening, though, you might be in a state where you say, well, I don't know if anybody's heard of eXp.
There's 10 people here.
Yeah, I don't know what it would do in my market, right? Well, this is why we make the statement that eXp is the fastest growing real estate brokerage in the world in all time, right? Go back and look at RE/MAX's history. Go back and look at Century 21's history. Go back and look at Keller Williams' history, and ask yourself the question: how long did it take those three companies I just mentioned to get to 20,000 agents? Right? It took them a lot longer than 10 years. That's the little trick I'll share with you right now. So I just want to share that this is the fastest growing real estate company, and hit 20,000 agents just a short couple of months ago, and continuing some more explosive growth.
Pretty awesome. Let's talk about our core values, right? So this is part of the fun thing now. Sometimes when we talk about core values, that can seem like a little, I'll say airy-fairy, but here's the deal. Like I feel these things at this company, and I'm gonna share with you a couple of my favorites, right? It's what has not just made me fall in love with this company, but makes me fall in love with it more and more every day, which is it's agile. Like they are willing as a company to move. I think about like Stacy and Dave and some of the moves Glenn's made, the way that they're willing and able to make moves to make the company better, make it better for the agents, make it better for those of us on the ground floor. It's innovative, right? It's integrity. Talk about doing the right thing. Like I have seen this company stand up and do the right thing time and time again. Here's a key word that not many people realize: sustainability is one of
our core values. Isn't that interesting?
And then my big one is collaboration, right? I've never seen anything bring people together in such a collaborative format ever. And never inside real estate or out. And I've done a lot of collaborative type deals. This is by far the number one thing, takes the cake for me.
Yeah, and I'll just lastly add, I love the transparency of this company. We just saw it a couple of weeks ago with Glenn Sanford getting on a Facebook Live and going live inside of Workplace, which is our technology home. You'll learn about it if you stay with us. He's done it many other times. Dave Kennord and Stacy Onan, the co-presidents of our company, are out there transparency doing weekly lives, right? To our audience, asking people what they want them to talk about, being transparent about where the company is, shortfalls, as well as growth, things that are working, things we need to work on. So I just love, as you mentioned, it's not just like stuff on a board, but I actually feel this stuff in action at eXp. So let's talk a little bit about the eXp business model for a second, right? Sometimes people try to make these comparisons to other companies, and I'm not necessarily here to say that there's direct comparisons to all these companies, but read that top right there. Innovation is always happening, and eXp Realty is innovating the real estate brokerage space, right?
I'll be honest, and even when we first joined eXp, I didn't really care for this slide, but as I've thought about it more and more, and it honestly takes some time, there's some layers to this company. When you realize what those physical locations, what a brick and mortar does to your mind, and the way once you remove those, what it makes available to you is really huge. And so personally, I'm a big fan of this, because this actually is a very appropriate slide in my mind, because this took the real estate brokerage from brick and mortar to virtual. And when you do that, you remove all the limitations.
Yeah, absolutely. Moving on a little bit, what I love about eXp, it's one brokerage, not a franchise. One company, I like to say, under one umbrella, one international company changing the industry, right? So one of the awesome things at eXp is we'll get into our caps and our company dollar and splits and all that, but I can hold a real estate license in multiple states and not be double taxed, if you will, because it's one company under one umbrella, not a franchise. We've got a cloud campus environment, live training, real-time support, international collaboration, and powerful equity opportunities that we'll go in and talk with you a little bit more about.
So let's talk about cloud campus environment. First of all, people say there's no office. Well, yes, there is. There actually is an office.
Yeah.
It's in the cloud, and we're going to go into that a little bit more. But when you have it that way, you don't have to have desk keys. You can work from anywhere. You cut the overhead of brick and mortar costs. This is the thing, especially when people talk about sustainability, they do not understand. Like if you are a member of a franchise or doesn't matter, a local mom and pop, and there is brick and mortar, I'd ask you if it's allowed in your company to see the P&L of the brokerage, to see how much of the expenses that brick and mortar is actually costing the company. So no expensive leases means that they can invest more into us, the agents, and into technology, paperless transactions, get instant access to training and support, you name it, cloud campus environment. Again, when you go virtual, it opens up everything.
Yeah, and not reflected on the slide is that if you want a physical space to work from, we have that too. We actually have a national agreement with Regus. All 20,000 eXp agents can use what's called a business lounge at Regus for no additional cost. It's part of your membership, if you will, at eXp, right? So if you're sitting there going, well, I need a place to work from, we actually have that. I need a place to meet clients. We actually have that. In fact, Regus has over 3,000 locations worldwide. There's like 30 plus of them in the Phoenix area. I was looking in San Antonio the other day. There's like 6 of them there. Denver, Colorado's got 25 plus of them. I mean, there's locations everywhere, right, that you can go and work from.
I mean, you and I aren't, this isn't our holograms. This is actually you and I doing this.
We're actually in an office. Yeah, you can also go get your own office, right?
Imagine that.
So let's talk a little bit about live training. And I really wish they'd update this slide. I'm going to like maybe slash through that soon, but I want to use the approved eXp slides here. We have more than 20 hours of live training each week. In fact, we have way more than 20 hours of live training each week. We've been clocking in somewhere between 40 and 50 plus. Yes, 40 and 50 plus hours worth of live training each week going on inside of eXp World. In fact, you and I are teaching a live class in eXp World tomorrow called Real Estate Teams 101. So if you find yourself on this webinar or watching on Facebook and you're like, I'm looking to grow my team, I'm looking to learn what you guys have done with your real estate sales team that's in multiple states selling hundreds of houses every year, hit us up. I'll get you a free guest pass. You can come into eXp World tomorrow and check it out and attend one of our classes or attend any of the other 40 plus hours worth of live classes going on this week.
I think it's next Wednesday, but whatever.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then you have 8 days notice. That's even better. That's even better.
Get it on your schedule.
That's awesome.
Real-time support. This is the thing that really blows people away is quick on-demand support services.
Yep.
Now, it's different, right? Because when you sit in your brick and mortar, you walk down, you knock on the broker door if the door's open, or if they're there, they're not on vacation or on break or whatever, or you go to the person who cuts the checks. This is different. When you have a cloud campus environment, it's real time, 55 hours a week. Guys, look at that, 11 hours a day. We've got support teams online and available. And this isn't like if one person's there, then the whole department's closed. Nope. Guys, there is a whole group of people that work in every single one of these departments, 55 hours a week, transaction specialists, financial specialists, technology and finance, you name it, they're there. And it's, again, 55 hours a week. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah, and I would just mention, sometimes people will say, do you have to go in the cloud to talk to your broker? You can, you don't have to. You can reach them via Workplace. It's again like a Facebook Messenger. You can pick up the old telephone and call them. You can send a text message and call them. You can send an email. So there's lots of ways to reach your broker, right? So when it comes to broker support, that's an immediate need. And that's not just 55 hours a week. eXp state brokers are well staffed with multiple people to handle the agents that are in that state, and they're available 7 days a week. But when it comes to like a transaction or a technology need or an onboarding need or something like that, as you mentioned, you've got 55 hours a week to talk to whole teams of people that are available to do that stuff, which I think is pretty impressive.
Pretty amazing.
We've got international collaboration as well. As we mentioned, we're in Canada, 7 provinces. We're in the US, all 50 states, also going into the UK and also into Australia later this year. So we've got lots of opportunities to collaborate with people all around the globe.
Now, I'm going to start calling this the Andrew Franklin slide because this is the thing. So Andrew is a buddy and a business partner of ours at eXp Realty. If you don't know Andrew, first of all, you should know him. He's an amazing guy. But he's got a background in banking, right? So the guy was an investment banker. So when he came in, he started looking at this company. This was a big deal to him, and I love it because he talks about this a lot.
He does.
So he talks about the ability, how much he's been able to earn in his, what is it, 9-10 months now at eXp Realty because of the sustainable equity plan, which is you can earn shares. Guys, EXPI, that is a publicly traded company. EXPI is the ticker symbol. EXP is a publicly traded company. So the sustainable equity plan, you get shares, close your first transaction when you fully cap. If you sponsor an agent to the company and they close their first transaction, You can win something called the Icon Agent Award, which is when you literally get back your cap, $16,000 in stock upon the achievement of certain production and cultural goals. And then the Agent Equity Program, which is you can enroll to pay 5% of every transaction, so 5% of your GCI come out of every commission check, and then you can buy stock at a 20% discount. Now, you don't have to, that is totally optional, but as my man Andrew says, that's free money.
Yeah, and I'm going to break down a couple myth understandings right now, right? There's a lot of people out there that say, oh, it's not real stock. It's real stock. It's issued to you. The Sustainable Equity Plan and the Icon Agent Award do have vesting periods, just like other publicly traded companies. Like my dad used to work at Chase and Washington Mutual Bank. He got stock, and guess what, Kevin? He had to stay there a certain number of years to be able to cash that stock out. So there are some 3-year vesting periods on some of the stock, but that kind of stock that they're giving you, you didn't buy it. They just handed it to you for doing what you already normally do. And then they said, you got to stay here 3 years before you can cash it out. Seems like a really good retention plan. Seems like a really good deal if you ask me, right? There's other people that say, well, it's really hard to transfer your stock or to sell it when it is available. No, it's not. I now have an online, I literally have an online broker, right, that eXp uses where I can see my monthly statements. I can see my quarterly statements. I can transfer the stock to my own brokerage account for a small fee. It is completely transparent. It's completely easy. And as you mentioned, our buddy Andrew Franklin, the guy sells a lot of real estate, but this guy in under a year has essentially on paper made a $50,000+ profit in the Agent Equity Program.
Forget about the other stuff.
I'm just talking about the Agent Equity Program, a $50,000 on paper profit. Now, why is that Mike saying it on paper? He could go right now and sell all that stock and have profited $50,000. He's chosen to continue holding it on to it because he believes in the future growth of the company, and his personal belief is it's a good deal to hold on to. I'm not giving you stock advice, sell it, trade it, whatever. I'm just saying it's available, and a guy who's joined eXp with us, Andrew Franklin, after less than a year has made $50,000 on paper in his stock. What other real estate company affords you that opportunity?
And here's the other thing I'm going to point out, because somebody pointed out to you, if you think about it, a lot of us come from franchise companies where typically the franchise or the royalty fee is 6%, 7%, or 8%. Well, an agent said to you one time, I believe she said, well, I'm already paying a royalty fee of 6%, was in her case. So I guess I could just look at it as now I'll just pay a smaller royalty, 5% instead of 6%, but I'll be paying it to myself instead of the company that's not really giving it back to me.
Right.
And so now she's gone in and is getting 5% of every transaction, and she's buying stock at a 20% discount. That's huge.
It's absolutely huge. It's essentially like if you have a month where you do $20,000 in GCI, right? You can opt in to have 5% taken out. 5% of 20,000 is $1,000. So now you're buying $1,000 worth of eXp stock, but you got to buy it at a 10% discount. I'm using rough numbers right here, but essentially you get to buy the stock at about $8 when it's trading at about $10 right now. That's a pretty good deal. Now, granted, those numbers fluctuate and move, but it doesn't take somebody very long to figure out if I could buy stock at $8 that's currently trading at 10, and I could buy $1,000 worth of it because I did 20,000 in GCI. That's great.
I just use my fingers. That's a good deal. Oh, I counted with my fingers. That's a really good deal.
I don't even have to get out the calculator. What do you call that? The
abacus.
My abacus. Okay, I'll have to get my abacus out for you in the future. Anyway, it's a great deal.
Something. All right, let's talk about the revenue share plan real quick. So eXp Realty can agents can receive revenue share income through sales. Abacus.
My abacus. Okay, I'll have to get my abacus out for you in the future. Anyway, it's a great deal.
All right, let's talk about the revenue share plan real quick. So eXp Realty can agents can receive revenue share income through sales activity of the productive agents that they sponsor to the company.
Yes.
Keyword: productive agents.
Yes.
So a lot of folks
we're not an MLM. You don't just sign somebody up and get a oh, hey, here's a bonus for signing somebody up. No. If they don't produce and sell real estate, it doesn't do you any good.
No, like this, and you don't just get to order juice and put it on auto ship.
Nope.
So you get this garage full of juice every month, and so your downline keeps growing. Nope, not how it works. Someone still has to go sell real estate. Somebody still has to go serve the consumer. That's actually how it works. So let's talk about that real quick. And I want to show, because it goes 7 levels deep here.
Yeah. I just want to mention out that essentially eXp has come up with a sustainable revenue share plan that allows them to keep 50% of the company dollar and pay out another 50% in revenue share, right? That's a lot of money getting paid out through revenue share. There are other programs out there that this was modeled after, namely Profit Share with Keller Williams. And Profit Share is very good. In fact, we donate ours every single month, so people benefit from that, right? But Profit Share is nowhere near 50% of the company dollar that is brought in on a deal. This is significant money, right? And I just want to personally mention that you and I personally, we were making about $11,000 a year in profit share at Keller Williams. And I'm very grateful for that. That was a combined dollar amount, right? But in a couple of months at eXp, we found ourselves making significantly more than the $11,000 in a year we made in 1 month at eXp with revenue share, because we're helping grow people's businesses and attracting other people to the company. So this can get really big. That's what I want to say. Now, let's give a real life example. I'm your sponsor at eXp. True?
True.
Okay. Currently, right now, are you capped or uncapped in the company?
I'm uncapped. I just reset.
Okay, cool. You just reset. You've been here a little over a year. So let's say you close a $10,000 commission check today.
Oh, I like that.
You like a $10,000? That's like above average in the Phoenix market, right?
Yeah, I would like that.
So you would keep $8,000 and pay $2,000 back to eXp. It's an 80-20 split here at eXp. Okay, company dollar, 20%, you keep 80. Okay. What eXp does is they turn around and they pay me, Kevin, $350.
Oh, is that the 3.5% right there?
Yeah,
on the
because
slide?
you named me as your sponsor. You're my tier 1 at eXp, right? So when you close a $10,000 commission check, I get 3.5% of the total GCI, not 3.5% of the company dollar.
So
collected.
I don't actually get 8,000. I get like 7,000.
No. You still keep $8,000. Okay, 80%. eXp collects the other 2,000. Out of the 2,000 they collect, they turn around and they give me $350. Pretty cool deal, right?
That is pretty awesome.
Now, let me go one step further. My sponsor at eXp is a man by the name of Curtis Johnson. Okay. Now, Curtis, you're in his tier 2. How does that work? I'm his tier 1.
Okay.
I brought you in. You're his tier 2, right?
Okay.
Now, what you'll see on here is Curtis, if he has 5 personal qualifying agents that are selling real estate, right?
That guy does.
Like, which he does, right? Like we call it FLAs. Then Curtis can actually earn $380.
Well,
400, excuse me, 380 of exponential share and 200, right? So he earns a total of $400 every time you close a transaction.
So you get 350, he got 400.
I'm a little slow on math this morning. I don't know why. I really do need my calculator or my abacus or something.
Don't worry, I'll buy you one.
I need more fingers.
I'll buy you a new one. So you made 350, Curtis made 400. So that's why he helped you help me.
Yeah. So this is the crazy thing. When somebody first explained this to me at eXp, they asked me the question like, okay, if you made $350 and you brought an agent, how much do you think the guy that brought you in? And automatically what you think is like less, right? Because I did the work, but they actually compensate the guy in tier 2 more than the guy in tier 1. So it creates a partnership effect. So when you join eXp, you have a bunch of people that want to help you attract other people to eXp, as well as sell more real estate. This is not just a company about attraction, because at the end of the day, we all have to sell real estate to earn revenue share. That's one of the big things I like to point out, because there's a lot of people who either previously been at eXp or maybe you've heard currently at eXp now, who sort of make it all about revenue share. But guess what? It's actually all about selling real estate. When you sell real estate, then revenue share shows up. You got to have one before the other.
Huge.
Sorry, just wanted to point that out. And Kevin, this actually goes 7 levels deep, and it unlocks other levels as you attract other people in the company, and it gets really big. And if you want to know more, I can spend 10, 15 minutes explaining this to you, or send you a quick little video, shoot me a message, or ask some questions later if you're on the Zoom.
All right, so let's talk about eXp World, or this cloud campus environment, if you will.
Yeah, let's get into some of our technology, right?
All right, so welcome to our world, if you will. eXp World is literally the real estate office of the future. Here's the part I love. Glenn started this company 10 years ago. It's
the future started 10 years ago.
Yeah, imagine that. So I'm just putting, so like, this isn't a guy that just said, hey, I'm a tech guy. This is a tech company. And he started saying that.
Yep.
This is a guy that 10 years ago saw this. And he's been building out this vision for 10 years. This is really happening. And this is the thing that brings everybody together in real time, no matter where you're located in the world. So let's talk about exploring the community. You go into eXp World, people are like, well, what's there?
Yeah,
what
it's a little weird, okay? You have this little avatar guy, and at first you're like, this is weird, right? But you walk around and you realize there's other avatars inside the world, and guess what? All the people that are inside the world, they're real people behind their computer, just like you're a real person behind yours. And then there's real-time support, there's specialized departments, there's collaboration, there's training going on, there's large-scale meetings. I love the world though, because it simplifies everything. I get answers quickly. I don't have to wait on hold on the phone. I don't have to send an email and wonder when somebody's going to respond. I just walk my little avatar into the world. And if I need to, I pull a little ticket from one of the departments and they say, hey, you're next in line. And then they transport me into a room where I get to have a private conversation with somebody to help me out. Or I get to go to a training class and I didn't have to drive across town and waste an hour in traffic trying to go to that class. I just get to hop on my computer and take the live training there.
That's pretty awesome.
It's pretty awesome stuff.
All right. So again, work anytime, anywhere, no traffic.
Yeah.
So let's talk about the solutions, like the tools that we get to use as agents. So we'll talk about enterprise, talk about SkySlope and Workplace by Facebook,
Yep.
which you mentioned, talk about the CRM and lead gen, and then of course, branding and marketing as well.
Yeah, absolutely. So eXp Enterprise is kind of like our home base, if you will, right? It's our main technology platform where you can see all of your details. You can see all of your production, how much commission and cap, how many transactions. We're in the process right now. I'm going to reveal something that some of you don't know, of unleashing some team tools as well, which is going to be really, really cool inside eXp Enterprise, right? So team dashboards and things like that. You're going to be able to review your agent equity awards, which is your stock. You get real-time performance reports. You get to see your revenue share. It's your home base, right? It has links to every other technology piece that eXp has, but this is our main home base technology.
All right, so SkySlope, this is the transaction management software. Yep. Excuse me, wow. It allows us to review transactions from any device. Doesn't matter, mobile, desktop, you name it, sign documents digitally, run your business with top grade security features. Like this is a top of the, I remember you and I were looking at SkySlope prior to eXp. In fact, we did use it at one of the Keller Williams offices that we were at prior. Yeah. Not all of them used it, unfortunately, but one of them did. And this is top of the line. This is a great software product.
Yeah, and I just want to mention this is how you communicate with your broker as well for contract documents. So you don't have to go physically drop the documents off inside of an office or email them over. You upload them to SkySlope and you get emails back and forth with your broker. Hey, this is complete. I checked it off. This is missing. This is going to be due soon. So this is how you make sure you get paid on time, and this is how you transfer your documents back and forth on your real estate transactions.
Helps you stay in compliance too, like with all the time and date stamps too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then Workplace by Facebook.
This is awesome because let's face it, everybody knows Facebook. In fact, a lot of you are watching this on Facebook. So Facebook has a product called Workplace, which is an easy to use collaboration tool. It literally looks just like Facebook. You can see it right there on the screen. It allows you to discuss topics and projects, share announcements. You can have private groups. You can communicate instantly. There's Messenger in there, just like there is in regular Facebook. You can go live. You can post uploaded video, recorded videos, you name it. So it works and feels like Facebook, except it's a workplace product. So literally all the people that we work with are in this one Facebook thing, if you will.
Yeah, and I just want to mention that one of the knocks on eXp is that like there's no culture, like nobody connects with each other, and it's hilarious. Like you're laughing.
I've never been more connected.
I've never been more
connected in my life.
Yeah, I mean technology connects us. Let's just be honest. Now I'm not saying it's the only connection tool, but technology connects us, right? We even text with our family and friends more often than we call anymore. We use all kinds of tools, right? So not only have eXp World, but we have Workplace by Facebook. So this is how we connect with people in our state. If we need an open house, or if we're looking to have somebody help us with an open house, we post it inside Workplace, right? If we have a referral, we're looking for an agent on the other side of the country, we post it in Workplace, and suddenly we're connected to lots and lots of people. So I like to just, for people that make that knock, like you either when you joined eXp and you left and you said that stuff, or you're a person that's never been at eXp and you just like to run around saying there's no connectivity at eXp. You don't know until you're there, and there's so much connectivity. I've never felt more connected to my real estate company in the nearly 15 years next month that I've been in real estate than I have at eXp. I don't have to wait for a once a month email to come out from my franchise telling me what's going on, right? Or attend the local sales meeting. There's workplace announcements. There's sales meetings inside eXp World. I'm meeting face-to-face with our agents once a month, doing masterminds and happy hours and going to training classes. Like it has the most connection of any real estate brokerage I've ever been a part of. And we've done it on a virtual platform. Figure that out.
Hands down.
It's crazy.
All right, so let's talk about CRM and lead generation. So agents and teams use eXp tools. So we've got a product called KV Core,
yes,
which is available to all agents here. We've got the ability to have powerful lead gen platform provided at no additional cost. So meaning we can opt in for lower budget. So a lot of times when you go hire these companies and get a website, it costs a lot of money to have ads run for you.
Yep.
Well, they'll do it for you at a very low price. You can integrate your own listing. You have optional in-house lead generation program. Like there's classes going on about how to use these products, KV Core, et cetera, how to generate leads, both paid and free.
Yep.
And to me, that's so important in this day and age because there's so much misinformation out there, and you can come in, get this provided to you right now today. This isn't like it's coming in 6 months or maybe 6 months later. It's actually been available the whole time we've been at eXp.
Yeah. Man, I'm just sitting here. I'm so excited seeing all these offerings. Like there's this guy that wrote this book, and I won't even use his name. I don't think he wrote it. He co-authored, and his name's on the book. And he took all these shots recently about eXp has no value. And I'm literally sitting here listening to all this stuff going, how could you not see the value? Like you'd have to literally like plug your ears and close your eyes and not want to see it. we have this marketing and branding source. I know this was one of our favorite things when we joined eXp.
Yeah.
Probably our favorite because it surprised us. Curtis Johnson didn't even tell us this existed, right? Like, it's a place where you can build out business cards and brochures and signs and letters and postcards and you name it. It literally, you could create thousands of different marketing materials that would all look completely different at the tip of your fingers. It's all online. If you want to send it to a printer, we've got that completely built into the system. You just ship it, it'll show up at your house. If you want to download it to your computer and it's a digital, social media piece of marketing you're running, you can do that. We have so many options available to people at your fingertips. And I've been a part of some other large brokerages over the years, and their marketing centers never looked anything like this. Pretty cool stuff. All right, so let's talk a little bit about joining eXp, right? Here's what everybody's talking about. You can read some of those quotes yourself on the screen, but everybody really is talking about this company. And I feel like there's been a shift in the last year since you and I have joined. It sort of was this, is eXp sustainable? Can it last, et cetera? And now it's like, maybe let's not talk too much about our competition, because like people are joining and staying and they're finding fun here. And like, oh my goodness, there is some value there, right? But there's still people out there talking, lots of people writing great things about eXp. Now, you probably want to know, how does the financial model work at eXp? Everybody wants to know that. So let's go ahead and jump into that.
All right, so commission and caps. So a couple key things here. It's an 80-20 split. And I'm sharing this with you because this is like public information. These aren't deals. This is just how the company operates. 80-20 split, $16,000 cap. After the 100% commission, after that, you get 100% commission for the remainder of your anniversary year. Anniversary year being, I joined the company today, it's going to be September 1st. So I close my deals, I get 100% of my commission all the way again until next year, September 1st. Mm-hmm. Pretty easy, right? There's also a $250 cap transaction fee. However, that's a good thing because this is what helps us qualify for that Icon Agent Award we talked about, where you can get $16,000 back in stock. Let's talk about our other standard costs. $149 startup fee. Mm-hmm. This covers your first month of fee, which is $85 a month for the cloud brokerage fee.
Yep.
This is the stuff that pays for the technology, all the training, you name it. There's a per file fee of $25 for the broker review fee, and a per file fee of $40 for E&O or risk management fee. Couple notes on there on the risk management or E&O fee. That's capped at $500 per agent per year. So there's not like this big profit center being made when you're being told, no, there isn't. Like, hey, it's being capped $500 a year. And the $25 broker review fee along with the risk management fee. It's worth noting that, let's say you're a team like us and we're splitting that $10,000 commission 50-50.
Per transaction. So I don't pay 25 and you pay 25.
No.
If we're splitting it, you pay $12.50, I pay $12.50. Yeah. I still can do a little bit of math, right? So, I mean, it's pretty straightforward, right? And what I love about this company, and you said it earlier, is that we don't have special deals. Like, now we do have some team plans. Those aren't special deals. They're actually plans, right?
Anybody can have
we have a standard team plan, and we have the mega icon team plan, where the rainmaker or team owner still has a $16,000 cap and still has an 80-20 commission split, but they can offer lower caps to their agents, half and quarter caps. So if you're interested in knowing more about that, reach out to us. Happy to explain that. But those aren't deals. They're plans. And and what I love about this company, and we've asked, because everybody asks, right? Well, we didn't ask for ourselves, but other people have asked us when they were joining, well, do you think I can get an exception into this? The answer is no, because the minute you create one exception in the company, now you've got a deal, and now everybody wants that deal. So I respect that about this company, is that we have standards and we have plans, and we don't deviate from those when it comes to our financial model. What I also love is if you run a team out there, one of the really challenging things in a team environment, I'll give our example at Keller Williams. Our agents had a 70-30 split with some of our Keller Williams offices and a 6% royalty on top of that. So let's say they're on a 50-50 team split. Then KW comes in and takes another 30% to the local office and another 6% to the franchise office, right? So now that agent, after all is said and done, is not, let's just be honest, they're not left with a whole lot of money on that particular transaction. There's a lot of fees. 80-20 split versus a 64-36 split, which is what most franchises are at, is a very, very big difference.
I mean, you think about it, that leaves the agent with like 32% of the commission, of the original commission. Like, it's just hard to get your business going. So when you have agents on your team, like having an 80-20 split standard is a big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. So here's a look at some of the awards. I haven't shown this slide in the past, Kevin, but I love it because production does matter at eXp.
It does matter.
It's not, you hear a lot of people talk about revenue share and stock. They're great. We got excited about them. We love sharing them with you. But at the end of the day, the production of this company matters. And here's a look at some of the recent awards that we've won. eXp continues to grow and continues to be recognized with more and more awards. You're seeing more and more top producers and large teams join eXp. You're also seeing newer agents being able to plug in to have access to those top producers and teams. But it's really cool when you see all the stuff that's coming together and all the awards that eXp is being recognized for.
Yeah, I think that's an important slide, because a lot of folks think this is still a brokerage for non-productive people.
Right.
And that's right there. That's just proof that it's not.
Yeah. So if you're interested in becoming a shareholder, why do we say it's a shareholder? Because the minute you join eXp and you close a transaction, you're a shareholder. eXp gives you stock in the company,
Yep.
right? Even if you don't want to buy it through the agent equity program. So if you're interested in joining eXp, learning more, becoming a shareholder, I invite you to go to kevinandfred.com/EXP to learn more, or you can apply directly at join.exprealty.com.